On this edition of Making It in Michigan,
There are three ways to create wealth. You can grow it, you can mine it, you can manufacture it.
We make things. That's what this country is all about. You know, we design things, we create things, but ultimately we make things.
Suddenly manufacturing is a high-tech industry. It's every bit as high-tech as, Microsoft World Headquarters is.
our Making It in Michigan feature story looks at the Raker Company of Litchfield, Michigan.
We're trying to change the way that people look at flowers.
If I'm going to build this and get to this point, what have I got to do to get there?
The thing I like about what I'm doing now is I can control Mother Nature.
These stories and more on this edition of Making It in Michigan. Michigan has long been a manufacturing marvel. Families around the world have been touched by the contributions from the designers and engineers who have called Michigan home. From the dazzling automotive craftsmanship that came to us from Detroit,
Look, for instance, at the smooth perfection of this top.
to the tables, sofas, and chairs that gave Grand Rapids its furniture heritage, to the machines that have cleaned our clothes for years, it seemed every household owned a little piece of Michigan.
Michigan was one of the most entrepreneurial places in the world 100 years ago. It was so successful that very, very large multinational corporations came out of it, obviously the big three being among them. As a result, Michigan became a place where people became very skilled at managing large organizations, thinking about how to run factories efficiently, thinking about how to produce high volume of stuff.
It's a familiar formula. Wealthy companies attract the best talent and are soon the recognized leaders in that field. Much like Silicon Valley became synonymous with the tech boom, Michigan was the center for the companies that filled our homes and our driveways. But business is cyclical. Leaders always face competition, and for Michigan, the latest challenge has come from emerging markets around the world. Improvements in quality and computers have evened the playing field for many of our competitors. But challenges also lead to opportunities. Sometimes it takes new plans, new ideas, and new ways to revitalize this important economic foundation. But there is no magic potion, no simple solution. The road to revitalization is challenging. It will take investment on many fronts, from companies looking for new ways to manufacture goods, to schools offering the education these new positions demand, to young people being intrigued by these new and exciting career options. To paraphrase a famous advertising slogan, these are not your father's manufacturing jobs.
There will be very good careers in manufacturing possible and great opportunities. And those opportunities are going to require a level of skill and adaptability and flexibility never before seen. And the people who make it into the track are going to be people who really have good math skills, who have good computer literacy, who can analyze problems and solve them, that can look at systems as opposed to simply rote repetition.
And what you have to do is you have to be able to calculate where to tell the tool to move to.
Michigan's manufacturing mecca was built on the nuts and bolts of education, specifically classes that created talented engineers and designers. In a sense, those are the skills that are needed to drive today's evolving economy. But many educators question the training students receive in their primary schools.
If you read the business magazines and even many of the technical publications today, you hear a lot about a growing shortage of people trained in technical fields, especially in engineering. Much of the impetus to bring in professional people from abroad has been that there simply are not enough American educated engineers.
How do we make this happen? How do we get students excited to pursue science and engineering? I think there needs to be a collaboration between the government, in this case the state of Michigan, the colleges and universities, and the schools from K through 12. And there has to be a link.
Perhaps it's the word manufacturing that gets a bad rap, but what we need to do is to shift people's mindset, and young people especially, about what it means to produce, to manufacture in a 21st century economy. It is not just standing on an assembly line anymore. It's very exciting. It's stuff all involving the most advanced aspects of technology, cross-sector.
Computers, design, out-of-the-box thinking. That's the lifeblood of today's manufacturing world. And here in Michigan, there are hundreds of companies leading the transformation from old school to high tech. Hundreds of companies who pay top dollar for creative work. And hundreds of companies who know what their jobs mean to Michigan. We'll be back to take a look at one of those companies, Brazeway, right after this. Manufacturing in Michigan continues to be a vital economic force. Currently, there are more than 16,000 companies engaged in that sector of the state's economy, employing more than 700,000 workers. The products these companies produce account for nearly 21% of Michigan's bottom line. The average annual salary for a Michigan manufacturing employee is more than $55,000.